You won't believe the explosive revelations from Ronald Dowl Moore about just how much control Sam Heughan, the brightest star of Outlander, truly holds in the global phenomenon that has captured millions. For years, audiences assumed Heughan was simply the heart and soul of the show, playing the role of a lifetime. But a startling disclosure from the head of production in 2026 has left Hollywood reeling. The truth about the shares Heughan commands in the franchise is not only beyond imagination, but also opens the door to a story of power, money, and influence that had never been told. Was this secret kept for years to preserve the image of a flawless star? And how will this knowledge change how the world sees him? In 2026, Outlander's leadership revealed a truth that shook the foundations of both fandom and industry. Sam Heughan's stake in the series is far greater than anyone dared suspect. For over a decade, Outlander has been one of television's most beloved and enduring dramas, blending romance, time travel, and gripping character arcs. At its center stood Sam Heughan, the Scottish actor who embodied Jamie Fraser with passion and charisma, cementing himself as an icon. But in 2026, a revelation shifted the narrative. The production team disclosed that Heughan was not just the star of Outlander, he was also a significant shareholder and behind-the-scenes decision-maker. This revelation ignited a storm of debate about power, influence, and the blurred line between creative vision and financial control. Few could have predicted, when the show debuted in 2014, that its rising lead actor would one day become one of its most powerful stakeholders. Originally, the series, adapted from Diana Gabaldon's bestsellers, was tightly controlled by Sony Pictures Television and Starz, with actors far removed from executive decisions. At the time, Heughan was a newcomer grateful for the chance of a lifetime, not yet in a position to wield true power. But the 2026 disclosure revealed a different reality. Over the years, Heughan quietly secured ownership shares, steadily building his influence until he became one of the franchise's largest private stakeholders. Sources close to the leadership confirmed that this was not a token percentage, but a substantial holding, giving him both financial returns and decision-making authority. This truth had been carefully hidden to keep focus on storytelling rather than boardroom maneuvering. Why now? The timing was no accident. By 2026, the original Jamie and Claire saga had concluded, but the Outlander universe was expanding with spin-offs, prequels, and new adaptations. As negotiations unfolded about the franchise's future, executives revealed Heughan's stake, clarifying his influence extended far beyond Jamie Fraser. Fans who assumed Heughan would eventually walk away were stunned to discover that his investment guaranteed him a lasting role in shaping the franchise's destiny. In a candid interview, one executive explained, "Sam was never just an actor to us. He's been a partner, an investor, and someone whose instincts have guided this story from the beginning." His stake is proof of that commitment. Reactions from fans ranged from admiration to unease. Some celebrated the news, seeing it as proof of Heughan's loyalty and devotion to ensuring the show's longevity. Many pointed out that his influence may have protected the integrity of Gabaldon's vision against corporate interference. Yet others voiced concerns. Did Heughan's financial interest compromise creative direction? Were other cast members offered similar opportunities? And how much of the story's path was shaped by business rather than artistry? Online, debates raged with hashtags like #HeughanPower and #Outlander shares trending for weeks. While some hailed him as the true guardian of the franchise, others worried the revelation blurred the sacred line between art and commerce. Industry experts called it unprecedented. While actors often negotiate for profit sharing or producer credits, the scale of Heughan's stake marks a new model for star power in modern television. This shift underscores how leading actors, especially in global hits, are evolving into business partners rather than just performers. By investing directly, Heughan not only secured financial returns but also creative control, helping shield the series from outside forces. Insiders suggest his influence extended to casting, script approvals, and even international distribution negotiations. To some, this was overreach. To others, it was the natural progression of a star whose identity was inseparable from the franchise. But power comes with tension. Reports suggest Heughan's dual role as actor and shareholder didn't always sit easily within the production. Some executives valued his perspective, while others worried it complicated the hierarchy. There were whispers of disputes over historical accuracy versus audience appeal, with Heughan's voice sometimes prevailing, not because of creative merit, but because ownership gave him leverage. Even fellow cast members, while publicly supportive, were said to feel overshadowed when his authority influenced negotiations. This created a new drama, one unfolding not on screen, but behind closed doors. As Outlander ventures into its next era, Heughan's stake may prove both stabilizing and controversial. On one hand, his continued involvement ensures the franchise won't stray too far from its roots. Fans can trust that someone who embodied Jamie Fraser for more than a decade will safeguard the story's heart. On the other hand, will fresh creative voices be able to break through, or will Heughan's influence tether the franchise to the familiar? Will new actors in spin-offs feel stifled by his enduring shadow? What's undeniable is that Sam Heughan is no longer merely Outlander's star, he is its co-architect, shaping its future for years to come. In the end, the 2026 revelation was both shocking and, in retrospect, inevitable. From the start, Heughan carried the franchise on his shoulders, building a bond with audiences that transcended performance. By investing financially, he transformed himself from actor for hire into a permanent force behind the series. Whether viewed as a brilliant act of loyalty or a troubling consolidation of power, the disclosure marks a turning point in television history, one where stars are not just faces on screen, but architects of the worlds they bring to life. As Outlander evolves, this truth will remain a defining chapter, reminding audiences that behind every great love story lies a hidden web of business, ambition, and influence. In the end, the 2026 revelation was both shocking and, in retrospect, inevitable. From the start, Heughan carried the franchise on his shoulders, building a bond with audiences that transcended performance. By investing financially, he transformed himself from actor for hire into a permanent force behind the series. Whether viewed as a brilliant act of loyalty or a troubling consolidation of power, the disclosure marks a turning point in television history, one where stars are not just faces on screen, but architects of the worlds they bring to life. As Outlander evolves, this truth will remain a defining chapter, reminding audiences that behind every great love story lies a hidden web of business, ambition, and influence. But perhaps the most compelling question remains unanswered. With Heughan holding the keys to Outlander's future, will the franchise expand into uncharted territory under his vision, or will his presence tie it forever to its past? The answer, much like the story of Jamie Fraser himself, is still unfolding, and fans around the world are waiting to see what comes next.